Alright, here we are in the grand finals of the HupCup, and this is going to be played out between our Blue Infernal player here, msrm, and his Red Celestial opponent, Grimmy. Grimmy, who already has two Morph Cores that are flying across the map. I wonder what strategy he's going to try today. The Hexen is also moving across the map, and she's going to try and scout out that strategy, but so far she sees no array. 3 Morph Cores. I wonder what those Morph Cores are for. There is no array here at the second either. And now coming up to the top base, realizing, oh, wait a second, there is nothing at all. I have seen nothing. And I will teleport home. There's a vault on the low ground. Wow, okay, so the Morph Cores do stop to fight with the Shadow Mastiffs first. And that at least does give msrm a little bit of a heads up that this is going to be a Morph Core rush. And msrm's already going to be heading to the low ground here with a couple Gaunts to try and take these Morph Cores out. And he is also going to try and stop them from getting the speed boost. And do manage to get a Morph Core. That's strange. Often the Morph Core will change at the last second into a building of some kind. These units are what? Just going to go across the map, straight across? There's already a Shroud Stone almost finished here, as well as one in the base. So I don't think msrm is super worried about the Morph Cores. Yeah, the Morph Cores come up, see the Shroud Stone, and go, oh, yay. Meanwhile, actually interesting, msrm has gone to the health camp here. Yeah, he does need to micro. He didn't quite get the creeping trick exactly how he wanted it. And it looks like there is an Argent out. There is a Brute. That Brute does not want to be anywhere near this. Oh, he tried to get the healing cabbage, but it was sniped by Grimmy. And the Brute has to run away. Oh, poor buddy. He's trying to get that other healing cabbage. He just wants to... Oh, he stopped. He's going to go get the heal. And, yeah, it's not clear here. These Morph Cores moving back. So the Morph Core rush kind of died on arrival. But now there's Argents here being like, maybe this was an Argent push all along. But he's in red power. And this... Oh, I didn't notice there must have been a Fiend here for a while because this is a very low array. And msrm taking out this speed camp now. Again, very curious, sort of being on the wrong side of the map for Grimmy with his units and his buildings. Another Morph Core being sent out here. These buildings seem very at risk here. Even a small army of msrms could move over there and kind of take it out at the moment. But instead, msrm's trying to go for this main array and says, oh, right, there's a Sovereign's Watch there, I'm out of here. Unfortunately, has to leave a dead Gaunt behind. And there's a single Argent that's going to try and split this Brute. Ooh! Nice try to get the teleport, but unfortunately the Hexen gets focus fired down. The Brute does also get killed. And trying to get some of these Argents. Ooh, the Argent unfortunately can be chased down here. And sorry, by Argent I meant Gaunt. And so nonetheless, msrm does have quite a big fighting force up here. But I guess so does Grimmy. He's got 6 Argents here. But I don't know if he really wants to be fighting all these units. He can get some of these high power shots off, but then, yeah, run back to safety. Oh, there's already a collection array up here as well. I have a feeling that's going to be, yeah, we have all of msrm's units immediately headed over there. Sovereign's Watch triggered. Okay. And it's doing a good job of zoning away the Gaunts. He's trying to get it to not focus the Gaunts, but to instead go on the Brutes, but having a terrible time with that. And so many Gaunts just get exploded here. This is not looking great for msrm. Grimmy's now moving up the ramp. Some Fiends come running in. They're trying to get us surrounded, of course. Now there's the no Sarvan's Watch. But the Argents can wedge themselves kind of safely in the back. There is no effigy, although now an effigy gets summoned. But it gets sniped. And it's not clear, but yeah, there are Plague Axes on these Gaunts. Now this is a defensive position. It's a good defensive position for Grimmy, but he is ultimately going to lose all these Argents. They're just managing to get the absolute best bang for their buck right now. And there's a Sarvan's Watch going down above. I feel like you almost just stay and fight there against the Sarvan's Watch. You had to walk so... It's got such a high range. And the DPS you had there was pretty high. But yeah, just wait out the Sarvan's Watch and move in and try and go for it. Power bank going down. These couple Argents are doing their best to try and distract the army, but the army is turning. Takes out the link node. Is now going to focus fire. Well, not quite a focus fire. Some of those units are focused on the collection array, others are not. But the collection array is going to go down. And now trying to get on top of these Argents and take them out. Cleaning up the rest of those buildings is not as high a priority right now, partly because he could do that at any moment. But he has left a small force here. There's so many creation chambers here, they were basically used as a wall, that this is an expensive loss for Grimmy. Unless he can defend this. He does have some Argents here. They're kind of low on health. The Gaunts immediately turn to fight. And the Gaunts are going to micro back and forth. Not with their Reaper's Rush just yet. It's not clear if there is a Greater Shrine. If they had Reaper's Rush, those Argents could be chased down. But now these buildings are all going to be taken out. Even though there's a few power banks that are going to be taken out here, the creation chambers are going to keep them in green power. And oh, so many low health Argents. That's not looking good for Grimmy. And the Gaunts get on top of the strike nodes, trying to focus fire them down as quick as possible. Also focusing that Morph Core. The Sarvan's Watch back here on the Creation Chamber is doing a pretty good job at dealing damage to these units. And the Gaunts have to retreat. Still low energy and low health Argents are all there are here, and a number of them get picked off. Sarvan's Watch cooldown is over, and more focus fire on these link nodes. And these Gaunts kind of have control here. Another effigy going down. Another cool buff in the most recent patch is that those effigies, when summoned on Shroud, the cooldown's only 8 seconds, so you can summon another one quite quickly after. For instance, another one might be able to be summoned already, which allows you to make a creep highway, or rather a shroud highway, much easier than it was before. Once you have some permanent shroud, you can spread it out. Now, Grimmy's got a little bit more of a foothold here. Even though we do see that Reaper's Rush is now done for those Gaunts. This is always a great position as a Celestial player to sort of siege up against anyone on the high ground there, but not sure if he's really been able to gain the ground yet. This strike node here isn't able to hit up onto the high ground yet. But if he can get a blast node or one of those, but we do see a Hellborn now on the high ground, focusing down that high ground link node, and now is going to be able to hit these link nodes on the low ground. And that, it looks like another strike node that's been upgraded. Still a power bank back there, interestingly. But yeah, this Hellborn is going to just slowly destroy this defense. And the Argents are looking to try and get in there and maybe do some damage. But they're going to run into this army. A Nightfall infestation was used here at the back just to zone for a second, force those Argents into the battle. And they are going to be able to retreat here, not without taking some losses. Ooh, double Hellborn shots now coming down. And wow, this is a pretty strong force now pushing into this fortified position. There's still one strike node here, but the Hellborn have come down from the high ground to try and add their DPS. And those Argents, unfortunately, ooh, a couple good hits from Hellborn. Take out some more Argents. And now the Hellborn are just standing back and firing in on the strike node. What is this power bank shooting? I think that's got to be a bug. Looks like it's powering up the Hellborn. That doesn't make sense. And actually, these power banks are now going to go down. And Grimmy's forward position is going to be lost. msrm able to push into it with his siege units. And the Argents doing their best to try and get some damage. Try and get some efficiency out of this. But yeah, all these buildings go down. It's just a slow fall as msrm has to kind of stop and take out each of these buildings. There is an array here that's going to be next. Tries to lift up, and a nice split from msrm so he can send some of his units up here. None of these nodes have turned into static D yet, and this is not going to be good for Grimmy. He's moved his Argents up, seeing the small number of Gaunts. And actually, he goes to the safety of his Sarvis Watch, so it's not that bad. But he's now cornered. Actually, I'm not sure if the trees have been knocked down there. It doesn't look like it. And all these Argents are going to get cleaned up here. The Sarvis Watch doing its best to take some Gaunts as payment. Link nodes on the high ground. This looks like it might be a last-ditch effort by Grimmy, but these Twilight Spires are gonna scout it. Are they? They're all transforming. And msrm has to move his units back, but no, oh, it's all speedy fiends that are moving back. A few Gaunts get summoned in here as well. As a Hellborn joining it, these are not going to get what Grimmy wants, and this could very well be GG for Grimmy now. Not perturbed. He's got a few on the low ground. He's gonna try and make the most of this while he's still alive. But we are gonna watch here as these Hellborn knock down the trees, I assume, and just push their way up into the main, and that should be it, I think. What do we have here? Fiends as well. There is one array over here. I think this might be the only array. And we're seeing the main base under attack. Saber pops out, but not for long. And these nodes have not upgraded yet. He doesn't even know they're in his base. I don't think he minds, because he's over here winning the game. This Archip goes down. The power goes into red. The Guardian Nexus goes down as well. And with this low power, that's going to impact Grimmy's attempt to get anything done with these strike nodes. It's not clear that any are upgrading. None are. And that is GG from Grimmy. Alright, here we are in game number 2 of this best of 5, and this is going to be Grimmy in the blue Celestial. Already scanning out here and making a miss. And this will be his opponent in the red Infernal. This is msrm. So Grimmy already scanned top left, knows that msrm's not there, but that is where this Hexen is headed. What? That was the weirdest bug I ever seen. No vision from the Purifier. That was curious, very curious, or at least no indication of vision for me. I saw it on the map and it looked really weird because it was a blue square inside the fog of war, and you almost never see that. Did notice that. Now the Hexen knows she went the wrong direction. Is she going to go to the right direction, or is she just going to go home and get started creeping? Sometimes we see a little bit of both. Very curious opening for msrm. He starts with a... I have never seen this build before, so I have to comment on it. Opens with the Conclave, but instead of using his initial gas to make gaunts, at least I don't see any on the map, he goes for the Ritual Chamber instead, which means even faster Plague Axes. And Plague Axes can be pain in the butt for Celestials, so we'll see if that's the goal. Now there's a full wall here that Hexen understands that. Sorry, my cat is being a little bit in my face right now, so sorry if I'm a bit distracted. So the Hexen is gonna... Now what's she doing up here? She can't creep that all by herself. And he's gone and put down a second base behind this, so we do see... Oh, it's not even Plague Axes, it's Hexen Adept Training. What is going on here? He's putting down a mine. Oh. And he's putting down a second mine. This is some cool stuff. Oh no! 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 Oh my god, he creeps out the whole thing. He gets 4 fiends out of it. No, this is not what Grimmy wanted at all. Oh no! What a curious game. This is so exciting. I've never seen something like this before. What a fun opener. Grimmy could never have predicted that. And Grimmy's got a Legion Hall here. This is, yeah, definitely a Seraphim opening here. Does he already have a Seraphim out? I don't see one. He's got a scan going down here. There are these fiends that the Hexen got. What a curious opening from msrm. Is he going to get this creation chamber? That's rough. And I can't see, where did the Seraphim go? There's another one. Oh, he's trying to take this health camp. But the fiends broke into the main. There's nothing here. The Seraphim are here. Now this is a 1 base build that was for an Arc Fortress. I don't think it's working out very well for Grimmy right now. He's still in red power. The Seraphim are trying to get some damage done, but there are gaunts already out. And this single Hexen has been out here creeping all these maps with her mines. Never seen this before. And meanwhile, all the fiends that have been created from those mines are just scooping up buildings here back in the main. Here comes Jesus' house, as it's being called, the Arc Fortress. Unfortunately, it is Saturday. Jesus' house is the strongest on Sundays. Everybody knows that. And so we might not get what we want here. Comes in, tries to do it, but I'm sorry, but this is a Greater Shrine. There's going to be a Manifest Shroud Stone here as well. This could potentially win the game for him, but I don't think it is. He's not going to get the Greater Shrine. He has to retreat. And if he loses this Arc Fortress, it could be all over for Grimmy. I mean, it is largely all over for Grimmy already. His collection array is going down. So too goes down his creation chamber here. Not that he was watching it, or using it, I should say. Now, what is he hoping to do here? Get some energy? Where is that? Is there a power bank there? I hope you guys all can see that. I do not see a power bank there, but apparently there is one. Will the Greater Shrine go down? It will. But at what cost? Is the Arc Fortress going to go down too? It looks like it's probably going to be a casualty of this one. Now, what do we see here from msrm? He does go put down the second one. He does have a couple of Twilight Spires just getting on deck. He's getting a new Greater Shrine upgraded. So if this Arc Fortress comes back for more damage... Jeez, I can't believe the Arc Fortress was kept alive. Yeah. Now, Shadow Flyers are something that can be produced now. Now that the Twilight Spire is open, or up. And here goes the Arc Fortress. I think this is going to be GG in game 2. Grimmy's microing his Arc Fortress back and forth. But yeah, it's not long for this world. Here it goes. And that's gotta be GG. Right? Grimmy? Oh, there's an Archangel. Oh my goodness, he came in with a Meteor Strike. He got a bunch of imp. I mean, the point of this build is to be annoying and not necessarily have like an eco advantage or a win. It's just to kill all of the imps and kill all of the bases. So he still kind of has a possibility of doing that. But no, that's going to be a GG from Grimmy. Alright, here we are in game number 3. And this is going to be msrm in the Blue Infernal. And his opponent in the Red Celestial is going to be Grimmy. And Grimmy with a couple of, let's call them a little bit cheesy strategies to open. And unfortunately not working out for him. msrm has been able to defend in both cases. We'll see what Grimmy does here. He certainly isn't always a cheesy player, so he may have some other interesting builds up his sleeve now. He is on Secluded Grove, which can be good for Celestials. If he goes out into the middle of the map here, looks like he might be doing what we might call Eco Cheese, which is the other... All Celestial builds are cheesy. It's just what flavor of cheese you want. And one of those flavors is just macro up real hard early, lots of collection arrays, and go from there. I didn't keep my eye on the Hex in there. I'm pretty sure she got up into the main and saw the 2 arrays. But already we see Lumber Imp here. What you doing, bro? Oh, you missed your tree. There we go. Now we made it through. Well, we got our creeping going on at the health cap. The Lumber Bro is out here just lumbering away. We don't see any Sarvin's Watch summoned because you want to preserve that. If the Lumber Bro does put down a farm or a Shroud Stone, there we go. We are probably going to see a Sarvin's Watch as a result of that. But you don't want to waste it on the Imp initially and then say the Imp comes back and puts down the Shroud Stone and now you don't have a charge or power to do it. That would be a bummer. So that's why we see that. We still don't see it actually. The Shroud Stone is now half finished, but a Morph Core has popped out to deal with it. Now the Sovereign's Watch. Okay. And the Sovereign's Watch is focusing on the building, which in some case is kind of good. So we get a second Sovereign's Watch out. It was good for msrm there, although he didn't cancel the Shroud Stone. I would have been better for him if he did. Now 2 Fiends here trying to be annoying as well. And I think msrm is going to be going very aggressive here, maybe all in actually, because if he can punish this eco start for Grimmy, he can win the whole thing. So he is taking a second here. Oh, I thought that Brute was done for, but no, he does get the Healing Cabbage. And these units taking the Vision Camp and deciding, yeah, let's push right back in. We do have 2 Morph Cores here, which is good defense from the air. They don't do a lot of damage, but they can be good against the Hexens and the Gaunts. But we do see one Morph Core go down. We see an Argent get Focus Fire down. There's 2 more Morph Cores here. They're not actually getting focused. It's the Power Bank that's getting focused down. That doesn't quite do anything. It does limit the access to top bar maybe. Because we are still in green power. I think more Power Banks are coming online. Another Morph Core goes down. And now it's just free-for-all units here. They don't seem to be focusing anything. They're just trying to get damage done. Another Argent pops out and it goes down. Another 2 Power Banks go down. A third one. We're now into red power because Saruman's Watch has been called. The Hexen unfortunately goes down to it, as well as some Gaunts. Gaunts are trying to micro away from it, but its range is just so high. And the Brute gets taken out, but these units just push right back in, and more reinforcements showing up at the bottom. This middle base looks like it's going to fall. More Argents coming in. There's 3 of them, but that 3 Argents aren't enough to deal with these units. The Brutes themselves can just, maybe move on top of them, and that'll force the Argents into a stutter step away. And the rest of these units can just focus on the array if they want. Unfortunately, those Argents are not going to be able to stop this. There goes the array, and next will be the chamber. And meticulous MSRM not wanting to leave these buildings up, taking them all down. A few Fiends popping out. Is that due to... nope, there is no Plague Axes out. That was probably from one of these Brutes dying. Another Morph Core going down. So some really good micro here as he's splitting his units and trying to not let anything get by him. Not let, say, another Morph Core get out that might go make a Ninja Array or something. But not also wanting to attack into this. So, in fact, turning around and trying to get on top of the Arc Ship and doing a lot of damage. And again, microing his units, splitting them in 2, trying to get the Gaunts on top of the Arc Ship. Maybe a little bit of an overcommitment with the Gaunts there as they're being picked off by the Shadow Demons. But the Argents get chased back to their Static D, and you do not want to fight into that. The Arc Ship just trying to stay safe. But now it's Gaunts here trying to push up. Ooh, and they're going to... No, this is dangerous for MSRM. He's pushed up. If he can win this battle, it'll be good for him. But otherwise, these Gaunts are kind of trapped up here. Nonetheless, they're getting good damage done. We're going to focus these Argents who are going to run all the way into the back corner, try to get away. There's no Shroud here. I'm not sure if Plague Axes are even up. There is no Plague Axes up. So it's just DPS from these Gaunts. And they've done a pretty good job, actually. Wow, yeah, you do not... This is what I mean. They're kind of trapped up here. They do not want to fight into that. Just go, hit the array. The Argents then would have to come up to defend, and then you can get some better engage on them. There are only 3. A 4th one pops out. Tries to take out the Shroud, but another effigy gets summoned. And these Gaunts kind of picked off. They're getting too close here. And really nice micro from Grimmy to keep those Argents alive. Now, interestingly, behind this, okay, we do have a natural, but it's not saturated. It's Spriggans again that MSRM's going to go for. These Gaunts were just focus firing the array. They get picked off. Yeah, that's it for this Gaunt force. So it did have some initial damage, kill some Argents, but then finally gets cleaned up. And this base has been reclaimed. It's certainly been spotted by these effigies. But maybe Grimmy's going to be able to get back in this, actually. He didn't lose this array up here. He's still got this array. This array's now gathering. and we're only just now getting to a half-saturated base here. But is the Spriggan tech that's about to pop, is that going to be enough for msrm to finish this off? We'll see. Certainly, if these do not... Okay, they are both... Oh no, so these are going to be 2 strike nodes here. That is going to be kind of hard to push in with just a few sprigs, but here they come. Are they going to get there before they fully finish? No, this one's going to finish up just in time. And all of a sudden it is strike node damage. There goes a single Spriggan. There's already a Vector out, and the Vectors are, of course, great anti-air. These Spriggans are unfortunately... Okay, they cycle back around. But yeah, there's 2 strike nodes there. You just cannot attack into that. So what are you going to do, msrm? You're going to circle around. I think this is the right idea. Try and get on this array. Try and get on this array. Meanwhile, the Argents and the Vectors are out creeping, trying to get some advantage. And here we go with the Sovereign's Watch being summoned. And some pretty good micro, although the Spriggan does get taken out. And so does a Vector. Now the Spriggans want to retreat because of the Sovereign's Watch, so they're going to come over here. You got another Sovereign's Watch. He definitely has power, but I don't know if he's got charges or the will. Instead, hoping the Argents can save this, but no, the Argents cannot. And now that the Sovereign's Watch is done, there are some Vectors here. They are better against the Spriggans. And we see one Spriggan going down, and the Spriggans do have to get out of here. Nice scan to get vision on the high ground. Oh, some of those poor Spriggans are going down to these Vectors. Are these Vectors going to get on top of them? Nice. So that's Spriggan taken out, but it is a 3rd base going down here now. And Gaunts and Brute. So Gaunts, Brutes, Spriggan, we're getting a kind of standard, what we might call msrm army. We've seen a few of these so far today. And it looks like it's creeping from both sides. Vector's trying to get some good kiting in here. Ooh, this is that new creep behavior. They just run away real fast. Zippity-doo-dah. Go back to sleeping. Makes it maybe a little harder to kind of glitch them out. And so this camp gets taken, and this base is now up for msrm. And we are starting to see, well, actually we're pretty even again. It looks like Grimmy has got himself back in this. This base has gone uncontested for a while. And that puts Grimmy on 4 arrays. There's a full 2 saturated bases, and again, has been for a while. I feel that msrm could have pushed into that sender earlier. But now these Vectors getting on top of the Gaunts and trying to do some good damage, but no, they have to recall their way back. And msrm, oh, putting down a 4th base. So I think msrm's answer to not getting sort of the final kill with his initial push was to just say, okay, now maybe I'm a little bit behind on my eco, so I'm going to just go heavy eco to try and catch up while still maintaining a pretty nice army force. And actually, as a result, is staying even with Grimmy here. These Vectors want to get some damage done, but they have to Delta jump out of there. Gonna try and retake the tower, but cannot. And do have to scooch away using that recall. That was an interesting recall. Although there is no base here to harass. Not sure there's going to be anything these Vectors can do other than maybe escape by Delta jumping to the other side here. Interesting, a scan. Ooh, okay. Very curious. So he uses the what is that, evolution catalyst to take the Ethereum camp. What do we have here? A few fiends out on the map trying to run around. See what they can see, being chased away by some Argent. This center base being pretty well protected now. And we have the fourth base almost up and running. The third base also well protected, but here come some vectors. What are they going to do? They're going to jump in, kill some fell hogs, but then it is flame on imps. Ah, those poor imps. Nowhere to go. Once you've flamed on, all flamed up and nowhere to go. That's what they say. Such is life of an imp. Okay, it's a tier 1 force here. We do have fully upgraded gaunts. And still don't know if they've fixed the tooltips here. I don't think they have. Maybe they don't know. We're getting Hellborn upgrades. That's cool. And here we have a Hellborn picking down the trees. Trying to push into the center base, which is kind of well defended. There are now Sabers there, and Sabers can do very well against this army from msrm. More Flame on Imps. Huge splits from Grimmy. And msrm just no other response. I thought he might flame on some more. There we go. So the Hellborn has to pick holes through the trees to get the units through. But a lot of the imps went down there. And meanwhile, there are vectors over here. Oh, it looks like msrm has also split his force to deal with this. And now there's an actual army here. Well, it's actually kind of small. We'll call it a strike force here. Largely Sabers. And they're going to try and get some good, cheap kills in on some of these gaunts. Also sniping some of those creeps. And now here they are going to try and take out the base. The Sabers standing back saying, daring these units to come on them. The Scythes above. I haven't seen Scythes a lot on this patch, but maybe they got improved. Gave his all. Oh, there is a dragon. Alright, that is kind of a devastating unit against the Celestial Army. And we're already seeing why. As a large number of fiends are showing up. With each one of these units killed, more fiends are going to show up. And the fiends are what are doing the killing. So that's not good. But they decide to take a defensive stance in the middle of this static D. But msrm's not having any of it. He says, I'm just going to push forward into the rest of your bases. You can't have that much static D everywhere. Sure enough, this base goes down really quickly. And this army trying to gather up at these really slow Sabers. Slow Sabers and fast vectors. All those... Ooh, very nice. That's what the Scythes were for. Sniping the dragon. Get a good snipe on the dragon, which can be really hard to deal with. And now, unfortunately, though, there's just not enough to deal with the ground forces. The Sabers are going to get all cleaned up by the Gaunts. And now it's just Scythes above. Scythes not doing great against Gaunts, of course. And I think this force is going to continue. Nope, it decides it's going to push here into the static D. This is kind of a dangerous push, but once some of those strike nodes get taken out, there's not much left here. There's just the Scythes. Actually, the Sovereign's Watch was enough to push them back. Meanwhile, there are some units down here. Oh, these poor mags. Get out of the way, Hellborn. We're chubby. And now it's going to be a little bit of a flank play. The Gaunts coming in and then not looking what's going on with them. They all get melted. The Magmadons trying to use their bonus versus heavy to clean up some of those Sabers. But they're just getting melted too. So not a well-advised push into the middle there for MSRM. And since he lost his dragon, he's going to have to wait for another dragon to spawn. And remember, that is a 5-minute mark. 5-minute cooldown. If he is able to get another dragon out, that might help him turn the tides. There's a single scythe here. And is this a 5th base now? Yes. But we also see Grimmy in the center here, you know, using that foothold he has there to build up his base. But I just haven't seen Grimmy be able to get more, you know, push out more. He hasn't even taken the 4th collection array here yet. And I think that's just because he's stretched a little bit thin. And MSRM ahead in supply now. Supply is kind of telling the tale a little bit. And it's up to Grimmy to get some efficient trades here. Now he might get a cancel here, but I bet he just lets it finish. The flame on imps. Oh, getting in okay. Oh, what was they fighting in the back? More imps? It was not clear. Maybe gaunts. But here comes some Spriggies ahead. Of course, the sabers cannot hit the Spriggans. There's just so many Spriggans. This is looking really bad. There's a single scythe out there. It gets focused down. A couple more scythes. But the Spriggans are on top of the arc ship. The arc ship is going to go down. Bye-bye arc ship. And sabers, of course, not good here against these sprigs. It's spies that do all right against them, but not if they get caught out. And now the Spriggans say, fine, let's just fight. Take out an array, take out a couple sabers on top of the Argents. Just not really worried about the size at the moment. There is an Arc Fortress here as well. So the arc ship that went down was not it. That was a backup. We do see a creation chamber go down, but all these units now, it's just the ground units in the back are just taking out buildings while the Spriggans are trying to force the sides back. The sides just want to get some good engages on the Spriggans, but they're all taken out. A new dragon has showed up. Bye-bye Arc Fortress. It's about to get focused, and that's GG from Grimmy. And a HupCup victory for MSRM. Congratulations, MSRM.